Hi, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Barrett.
And we're Bionicfitness.
We're going to talk a little bit about spinal alignment and how that works in your squat.
So first we're going to start off with a demo on bearing load on a structure that is a straight line, right? And so if I put weight on either side of this stick here, it's pretty strong, not much is going to happen. It's not until I put a bend in there where all of a sudden the weak point is in the middle of that stick and it snaps, right? We recognize that your spine is not a straight, flat, solid line. It is a series of joints that are strung together. However, in terms of load distribution, this principle still applies.
So as Brandon said, the load distributes through that straight line, right? So if you have any weights in your front or on the top of your back, it's going to distribute down to whatever the curve is, either, or down the straight line to the bottom, which is where your glutes would be. So you always want to make sure that that spine is nice and aligned so that the load ends up being distributed into your glutes.
You want to avoid the classic Legally Blonde bend and snap, because it's really going to snap.
Yeah, we don't want that. So, I'm going to get Brandon. We're going to demonstrate a little bit some of the ways to correct this in your squat. So I'm going to get Brandon to demonstrate an incorrect squat to start with. Right. So as you can see, he's got a big curve in his lower back, and he's actually... he's got a little bit of a curve in his neck as well. Now, we want to correct this. So the first thing I'm going to get Brandon to do is to pull his rib cage and his pelvis together in the front, pulling those abs in, doing a mini crunch, okay? And as you can see, that's going to flatten out his lumbar spine, right? And next, I'm going to get him to pull his shoulder blades together with his rhomboids and activate his mid-back muscles, his mid to low traps, as well as secure those shoulders with his lats. And as you can see now, and we're just going to get him to tuck his chin a little bit too, so that spine is nice and aligned all the way down, right? So if he's bearing a barbell on his upper back, or he's got a dumbbell in front of him as a goblet squat, it's going to distribute down into those glutes. Okay, great. Take a break for a second, Brandon. That's great. So we want to make sure that those abs and glutes are working together in the lower half, as well as that mid-back and those lats working in the upper half of your torso.
We talked a little bit about back and ab strength together in our pelvic control video.
Mm-hmm. And you can take a look at that, of course, on our YouTube channel. Of course, as well, what's really important too is making sure that you maintain this positioning all the way through that squat, up and down. Okay, so I'm going to get Brandon to show me again. We're just going to do a correct from the bottom squat, and then please show me how not to maintain it all the way up. So as you can see, he's arching through the back at the top, and his knees will straighten first, and then you can see that there is still a curve left in his lower back. What we want instead is for him to tuck his pelvis underneath him, activate those glutes, activate those abs, and make sure that he stays nice and aligned all the way through. So we're going to go again from the bottom. Make sure you maintain that ab squeeze and then those glutes, and bam, you can see that both his hips and his knees locked out at the same time. Great. All right. You can also see this as well in a lunge. Brandon's going to show you that right now as well.
Yeah, so one thing to keep in mind is that a lunge is actually just like a half squat. Just like so, right? Remember we talked about how the back angle and the shin angle should be the same in a squat? And Barrett's also talking about how we don't want the curve in the lower back. So in a lunge, we're going to this is the mistake that most people make. They arch through their lower back, keep their chest up, right? We want to drop it forward, keep that little crunch, make sure the angle through the back and the angle through the shin are parallel, and we're going to engage the abs and come on up, thrusting through the glutes so our spine is nice and neutral.
That's our take on spinal alignment in your squat and in your lunge as well. You can, of course, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Please follow us on Instagram. That is in the description, and as well as if you want to email us, that's there too.
Happy squatting!
Happy squatting!